Hey guys,
Hey,
Jack,
how are you?
Patrick, all good?
Good.
Excellent.
Hey, I don't want to put any pressure on you guys, but so far this year, since we started the show, all the guests have been the champions so far. So, hey, the pressure is on you guys now, huh?
Yeah, but
Each
there's
other.
two of us.
Yeah, so you can choose. You can choose who's going to
Okay.
be the champion. Hey, first of all, we always start by introducing the drivers. You're both drivers, so I start off with Jack. I think you don't need an introduction. Formula One champion. You were the IndyCar champion. You won the Indy 500, so everybody knows that. But before that, what did you do? Because you started quite late in racing, right?
Yeah, I started at 17 because I was a skier. So I didn't do go-kart. I did skiing instead. My mother didn't want to be a go-kart mechanic. I guess that was the main reason. And I was in boarding school in the mountains, so skiing was really the thing, and I found that very helpful to work on lines, on perception, 3D spare awareness, and also pushing the limit all the time, and figuring it out by yourself what to do different or not. And also, what you normally don't learn when you get into a race car is how to feel the car and how the car responds to you. But you feel that a lot on skis.
Yeah.
And that wasn't very useful in Formula One, but I find it very useful in NASCAR, which is a soft car that moves around and you can drive around the problems. And I found skiing to be very useful for that. But in car, I started at 17 directly in Formula 3. And that was a
Okay.
big jump. It was in Italy, and we were over 40 cars. And half the races, I wouldn't be qualified for the finals. And I would be 1 second off pole position and still not qualified for the main shows. It was a really tough school. So that was great.
Okay. Yeah. We do some skiing with our team. We every year we take the whole team, all the drivers skiing. So now that you guys have a team, maybe you can take your young drivers to ski and you learn them how to ski. Eh? Um,
Yeah.
a- After you did your single seater career, you stepped into NASCAR in USA. How did that go?
It was good. It was good fun. Well, I did a little bit of Le Mans just before the NASCAR, but that's just a one-off race, which was fun. Sadly, there was only a second position, which was awful. There's the one race where you don't want to finish second. NASCAR then it was intricate because when you get into the States and you come from open wheel, you're not American, and they make you pay. It's so I think in 7 races I was put in the wall 7 times. So that was really interesting on the ovals. And once you start making your way in there and they start respecting you, then it's fine. You just need to bite the bullet at first, which is great because it's old fashioned. You do something to me, I do it back to you. It's like you give me a punch, I give you a punch. Okay, and then and then you're happy and you can go and have a beer together. So that was fun. But the initially I did the big races like Talladega, Daytona, and some ovals, because there were only 2 road courses anyway, so there was no point doing the road courses the first year. So in trucks and nationwide, and well, they change name all the time, and in Cup as well. That was fun because those cars are powerful, and pack racing, getting used to having a spotter, and you don't even drive with your mirrors almost. It's the spotter that's telling you where everything is. That was really amazing. After that, I went to do mainly road courses, and that was amazing. The most fun I had in racing was NASCAR on the road course.
Okay, cool. And then afterwards, you did some V8 supercars, you did some rallycross, you did some Formula E. Formula E, how did that go?
Yeah, exactly. Uh, that was something to try, and if you're a driver, just get some pedals and a steering wheel. Then you have to beat the opposition. That's it. So it doesn't matter whether it's electrical, diesel, like it was in Le Mans, or a big V8, or a high revving F1 engine, and high downforce. You still have to find a way to make that car go as quickly as possible, and it's very intricate. And Formula E was different because uh, the way the engine was working and the engine braking that was then creating power, it was really weird, and you had to get used to that. And some of the tracks were fun, but obviously it is what it is today, and it will never get. So, a lot of people have said, "Oh, this will replace F1," but it's purely impossible. It's good on small, tiny tracks. As soon as you get on a big track with big straight lines, then you can see that there's something lacking.
And then we go to Patrick. Patrick, you had a different career, but at a certain stage, you guys worked together with BRR. in Formula One. What did you do before you stepped into Formula One as a test driver?
Well, a lot of things. First of all, I met Jacques when we were 10, and we start skiing, sledge, and a lot of things together. And we had this respect since we were kids, so that was good. And I started go-kart late as well, because my parents were not into motor racing, and so I convinced my cousin to be my mechanic, and the second year I was French champion. So it was a good start. I did the health school, which is similar to what we do with Feed Racing now for the young kids, and I had the hard time with sponsorship because I was held by Marlboro, and we had the regulation against cigarettes in Europe, so I had to move to America, where I did Formula Atlantic. I came back. I won Bercy in go-kart, so I had a sponsorship for the 3000, and I had a chance to have a test with the Tyrrell and make my place to be our test driver. I met Jacques again.
Okay, and I saw you also did Le Mans with the Audi R8. That was a great car in that time. How did Le Mans go for you?
Well, the race didn't go very well because we had a failure after a few hours, but I not only did Le Mans, I did all the championship with Stefan Johansson, and I won a European champion ELMS with Stefan and Audi, so it was a very, very good experience. We won races, and we finished second at the Petit Le Mans as well between the two official Audis. So it was a great experience. So I would have fun there to make more years with Stefan, but we didn't. But it was a great experience before to move to IndyCar.
Yeah, and then I saw when you did Le Mans, you had Tom Coronel with you. He's a good friend of mine. He's a bit of a crazy guy, isn't he?
No, he's completely crazy. No, he's very fun guy, and fast as well. So it was a very good 3 drivers for Le Mans, and we had unlucky, but it was a great experience with Tom. We had a lot of fun and very competitive on the track. So it was very good memories.
You know, he has a little pocket in his suit. He made it specially to carry his iPhone, so he can make some footage when he has a crash or whatever. Who thinks about that? But maybe you should get him into NASCAR. We have quite a lot of Dutch drivers. The current champion is a Dutch driver, so maybe you should get Tom over into your team, right?
Yeah, that would be amazing. Now, Tom is a good fun and he's a great driver as well. But I think he's having fun there. But I think he's touching car a little bit too much for me. So I think he's better where he is.
Yeah, he will crash a lot, I think. He's very aggressive. No, but he's doing great. He's driving now in the WTCR championship with one of my drivers, so he's doing really well. Jacques, you started off in the 219 NASCAR Real and Euro Series. How did you get to know the championship? Who pulled you in there?
I had seen the championship a few years before. Then it was just a question of timing, because I'm very busy with TV commentary, and that doesn't leave a lot of time to set racing properly. And I also have 4 kids, which takes a lot of time, good time, but it makes racing a little bit complicated. It got through with a Canadian team with whom I'd done some racing in the rallycross a few years ago, and there were still some races left in the contract. So it was the excuse to try out the category. The issue we had last year is we didn't really have a team. We had a car and an engineer, and that was it. We didn't have a shop, didn't have a truck. So the car would be prepared on Friday morning while everybody else was practicing. So that made the season a little bit complicated, but it was fun. I really wanted to see how these cars compared to the ones in the state, see if I could drive them properly. And so then the plan was this year to do something more professional.
Yeah, because last year in Lemarié, you were very close to the win. You had some really good races. Italy, I remember you were really fast. So this year the expectations are higher, I guess.
Yes, the expectations are high, mostly because we were quick in Valunga. It's just annoying that we didn't get that first win in the first race. That makes a big difference in the championship. But yes, the car is fast. Definitely, it's well prepared. So I'm very, very happy about that. I'm just very sad that there's no oval this year because that was my favorite last year.
Yeah. The ovals I won many races in Venray. I think every weekend I went there, I won a race. I even won a race with a backup car from the championship because I crashed my car on Saturday. So yeah, we have two little ovals in Europe, right? We need some more ovals. We have
Yeah.
to
What's the
find
other one?
people. But we have the one in Tour Speedway, and then you have
Okay,
yeah, but that's more a smaller one, and then yeah, you have some more ovals, but with our cars, the safety is maybe not so easy with the ovals that we have. So somebody has to build some. We have to find somebody that can build
Yeah, but you
ovals.
also need the fans, and it's not oval racing is not really well known in Europe. But the racing was fun there. There was a good group of fans last year when we were racing there, so that was really interesting. Also, they raced in the wet, which I found very interesting. That doesn't happen in the States.
Yeah, you know who won the first NASCAR oval race in the wet ever?
I'm sure you have the answer.
Yeah, sure. It's Lauda. It's Lauda. Matthias Lauda.
Really?
Yeah, he
Oh.
won. I think in 2015 he won an oval race in the wet. We had an oval race and he won it. Okay, so you guys decided to create Feed Racing. Patrick, how did that come together? How did that idea come up?
Well, it become a few things. First, we had for a few years with Jacques, we noticed and it was very, very hard for talented driver to show their talent because even go-kart is very expensive. So what is the solution for a kid who has talent to start? It's not a question to be in Formula One or Formula Two. It's just how you're going to start because go-kart is very expensive. And I'm coming from those racing school and we had before in 80s in France. There were seven school for young drivers, to detect talent. So we had decided to Jacques with it. It is time now to start again something and we can detect talent and give a chance to this kid. Then they have a little bit money to do the school, but not enough money to race. And that's why the idea of Feed Racing started.
Okay, and so if I have it right, the guy who's coming to the school and then does the best feature, he gets a season in either Formula 4 or in the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series.
Well, at first it's for Formula 4 because most of the drivers who are young and doing go-kart for the most of them they're dreaming about single seater. So for the moment the selections are and the winner will get a Formula 4 season. But in the future and in very close future, even next year, we're thinking about having something for NASCAR as well.
Okay, and the goals of the team, what are you guys planning? You want to expand the team, make it bigger? You want to add some more series to it, add some more cars in the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series? What are the plans that you have?
Well, first there was an excuse to get Patrick into racing after 17 years, so that took a little bit of convincing. And also the way the series is with two drivers in the car, we have a junior driver or a B driver, doesn't have to be junior. There's a good way to open the seats to some of our students as well, like Simon sharing the car with Patrick. And also what we've seen is a lot of the parents or fathers that come with their sons, they want to drive, and suddenly they think, oh, NASCAR could be a good thing. So it could also bring a bunch of drivers to NASCAR, not only to our team. We're doing this because we love racing. That's the first thing. I love being in the race car. If at the same time we can build a team up with good drivers, then that's another benefit.
Yeah, and the thing is with NASCAR, I experienced myself. I started NASCAR very late when I was like 36 years old or 37. I don't remember, but there's still a future. You can still do a good championship here, and if you're young, you can still go to USA. There's still, there's more places in NASCAR because you have the 3 national series in USA. There's a lot more places than what we have here. When you go to single seaters, there's only Formula 1 and there's 20 seats.
Well, and for drivers to start or to get a touch of racing, it's not bad because the cars are big. They're difficult to drive. The races are fun. A lot of drivers, 450 horsepower, that's not bad. And it's the cheapest European International Series out there as well, the cost per driver. So it's a good way to get in. And if you manage to drive one of those cars, because they're really complicated, it's still a H pattern gear shift from the 60s. And even the way all the suspensions work. if you manage to manhandle those cars, I guess then you're fine to drive anything else.
Yeah. Patrick, you didn't race for 17 years. So how did it go the first weekend 2 weeks ago in Vallelunga?
Well, it did well. A little bit frustrated because, first of all, you said, well, Jacques took 1 year and more to Jacques to convince me to race again, because I wasn't sure. I wanted to race and be myself in a race weekend, but it's part of the Feed program as well, because it's not only racing. It's not only I'm enjoying racing, but to be with Simon and share the car with him. He's from Feed Racing. It's part of the global thing, and I'm really enjoying everything, the whole project. So the first race was exciting, but I thought, okay, I'm gonna take it, cool and relax, but it was impossible. As soon as you're in a car, you want to perform. I was not happy with my setup, so I was frustrated when qualifying. So I started in the middle of the pack, and I had two drive through in the first race because I was moving at the start, and I didn't see my speed in a pit lane, and it was a little bit hard, but I really enjoying myself, and I really like the cars. The cars is really fun to drive. It's not that easy. The level, a lot of good drivers, so it's very interesting, and I really enjoy myself. But I knew then I couldn't take it easy. So now I'm waiting for the next one, and I want to improve. I want to get better. I want to win races. So but Jacques knew that before. So now but it's fun. It's fun.
And Jacques, yeah, you mentioned before you lost the victory. You were leading by comfortable lead. It's 2 car lengths. It's nothing, but it's in NASCAR. It's comfortable. You lost it with an electrical failure, if I'm right. Now we go to Zolder. You don't know Zolder that well. I think the first time you raced there was last year. How do you rate your chances for that track?
Yeah, first of all, there's a lot of questions on the right in the chat. I have no idea how to answer them, so nobody gets upset. Yeah, the win. It was under control. I wasn't even pushing in Vallelunga in the first race, so I was just keeping the distance and trying not to sweat too much and trying to save the tires for race 2. And just a tiny little cable started burning, so with an electrical short. So that's very frustrating. Zolder, first time last year. I had never been to Zolder actually, and last year was the first time I'd been there since after my father passed away. So it was quite emotional. Every time would go over the hump. The car was fun to drive. The track was fun to drive. And also, we had so much rain last year. It was amazing that we were actually allowed to race. We're not used to this anymore in the modern era of racing. So it was slippery. It was fun. The way the track drives this year, I think our chances will be good. The thing is, it won't be hot like Vallelunga at all. And we were good on the tires, so we were good in the heat. That's the one question now. How good will we be when it's not hot, when it's cold? Will we manage to heat the tire up enough, or will it be better for the other ones who were overheating their tires? That's the main question.
I have a good setup for Zolder. I did more laps in Zolder than all the tracks in the world combined, I think. So we can maybe sort something out.
Good.
Alan will not be happy, and Stines will not be happy. But maybe money talks,
Yeah, don't worry. You can tell me your price, definitely. But it probably will rain, I guess.
Yeah, we have a lot of rain. Yeah.
So and then we also have to manage to find a way to get there. That's the big question now.
Yeah,
to physically get to Belgium and to the track. So it will be a little bit more complicated to Vallelunga. I guess a few people won't be able to make it, but once we get there, should be fun.
Yeah, they just sent from the championship if we provide a COVID test. I think it's something the FIA is doing for all the racing series now. If we provide a COVID test, everybody can come over. So I think it's the same in all sports and everything. So it's a bit more difficult, but we try to make the show. Like you mentioned, we have a lot of questions coming in from the fans. So the fans are the most important in NASCAR and all racing. If we don't have any fans, we cannot go racing. The first one I have to ask is from the previous guest in the show, was Ander Villarino, the triple champ. He asked to both of you, obviously, Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon, and why?
Jeff Gordon, he's more of my era. And when we started the BAR, he almost joined us as the other driver. I was talking with him at the time, and he was just starting NASCAR as well. And BAR, which was BAT basically, was in big part American as well. And so there was a big push to try and get him. We had the long chats, and finally, in the end, he opted for NASCAR, and he made the right choice.
You know, in our team, the spotter of Alan Day is the nephew of Jeff Gordon.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing. Oh, that's good.
yeah, Jeff's
Now
wife
here,
is from Belgium.
Jimmy Johnson is trying to go to IndyCar, so he's going open wheel.
Who is?
Jimmy Johnson. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
signed
yeah.
up Ganassi to go. So that's the other way
Yeah.
around. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think the from NASCAR going to IndyCar is a bit more easy than the other way around, because then when you came in NASCAR, like you said, they just bump you around, and that they cannot do it in
Yeah,
IndyCar.
no, that doesn't happen. And the NASCAR drivers have become very good on the road course as well over
Yeah.
the years, and they've been adding road courses. So I think he'll do fine.
Okay, Patrick, Jimmy
Well,
or Jeff?
well, I will say Jeff because I didn't really follow NASCAR really, but I like his nice mustache. Jeff, he had a nice mustache at one time, so I really like it. So I think about Eddie was really impressive. So he won many times, and he's a superhero of NASCAR for sure. Like Jimmy Johnson as well, but I like Jeff. I like his way of racing.
Okay. Next one, a question from Frederick Beals. He's asking Jack. Oh, I want to know that too. Why do you choose the baggy race suit?
Oh, I've always worn baggy clothes. It's comfortable. It's very simple. It's comfortable. And when you're in the race car, you don't want your suit to pull your shoulders or your privates. It could be very uncomfortable. And also when it's really hot, it's you breathe better. And then talking with the manufacturers, the suit manufacturers, they've been telling me it's safer in case of fire if the suit is baggy, if there's some air. So having a very skin tight suit is not recommended.
So it's because you can pee in there.
That was an F1. There you go. Now you share the seat with someone in NASCAR, so you can't.
Yeah, and now the races are so short, so it's okay.
And we
make
sweat
it.
so much anyway.
Patrick, Dennis is asking you, what do you rate the most about Jack?
Who? Right.
You about Jack. What do you rate the most about him? Nothing.
No, there's many things. But I'm not sure I understand the question correctly. What is the question really?
What do you rate the most about him? So why do you respect him so much? What's the best about his personality or about him as a race driver or as a person?
Well, the respect I have for Jacques is start very, 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 very long time ago, when we were a kid. When there was no media, no pressure, no Formula One, no nothing. It was just Jacques and I doing ski, challenging ourselves just for the fun, and I saw the value and that's the respect start when we were 10, 12 years. But after, of course, I have a lot of respect for all Jacques did. And there's one point very important in Jacques is a real racer. And, when he's in his bubble, nothing can touch him. And I think when he's under pressure is one of the best guy in the world. And he proved it, because when he was important, he won everything. So I have a lot of respect for that.
Okay, cool, man. Then another question from Dennis is for both of you. What's your favorite racetrack?
It depends. For racing or for qualifying, it's not always the same thing. Some tracks are amazing on the quali lap, where you just get on the limit and you've done it, like Spa, Suzuka. Those tracks are unbeatable. Or even Monaco. When you do a good lap in Monaco, it's so much fun. In the States, I would take Elkhart Lake.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. For racing, it's where you can fight it off the best. Montreal is amazing for that. Elkhart Lake is also good, so it serves both purposes, where Suzuka and Spa for racing, it's not as interesting. I also liked Monaco for racing because you have to be concentrated on the edge the whole time, and you get in a little rhythm at some point, and also you pass by all the bars you go out at night, so that makes it a lot of fun.
Uh, for me, a very simple answer. It will be the next one and where I will win.
The next one where you will win. So it's Zolder or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you have like you guys have like a favorite race. It's the same person who was asking it. Do you have a favorite race that you did in the past?
Yeah, for me, it was the Petit Le Mans with Audi.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was a crazy race. I think it was 50 cars on this track, and the track is unbelievable. And it was 12 hours of fight with the two official Audis, banging the wheels with Johnny Herbert, and it was a completely crazy race. And I have a very, very good souvenir of that one.
What year was it?
It was 2001.
I think I was there. I was racing for Viper America. I was on the podium there.
Yeah,
I think I was there that year. I thought it was 2001 or 2002.
we finished second between the two officials. And it was very, very, very interesting race. Very fun.
Okay. And you, Jack, your preferred race?
I hesitate in between two, and obviously they're the ones that gave me the best results. So there was Jerez in '97 for the championship, or in the Indy 500, but not because of the result. Because it's easy to say, okay, win the Indy 500, best race. No, it's because of the way the races happened. Because at the Indy 500, I got 2 laps taken out early in the race, and had to fight back to get those laps. And it turned into a race where I had to drive aggressively instead of just pacing myself. So that made the race fun. And in the end, it was won by putting pressure on Scott Goodyear, who was leading on a restart, and he would have won the race very, very easily, and had to make him crack before the restart. And he made a mistake, overtook the pace car. If not, I would never have won it. So that made that race very special. And it also made me race in F1. The only reason Frank Williams took me and Bernie Ecclestone also was interested is because of that win. And it's a little bit the same thing in Jerez '97, because Michael was leading. He had the championship won. And to go get him, I had to take a big risk, take a big gamble, put him under pressure, and it worked. So that's why those 2 races were special.
Okay. Then a question from Alex. He's asking to both of you if you can add a track to the calendar. Which track would it be? A European track, obviously, because we are doing the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series.
Easy. Manicourt, because it's we have the school there. We need a race in France, because France is a big part of the racing history, and it's still a level 1 grade Formula 1 spec track with all the big pit lane, big boxes. It's a fun track to drive, so that would be a perfect track.
Yeah, home race.
Home race.
Yeah.
If I would add one, I would add Monaco. I think these cars around Monaco, that would be so much fun.
That would be great with 80,000 spectators in the grandstand. Yeah,
We can go to Po as well. Po would be amazing.
Yeah, Po would be good. But I would love to see like a road course track, because we were discussing with the people of Monaco when I was doing Daytona in 2016 with Joe Bellish from NASCAR and then some other people from NASCAR. We were discussing to get it into Monaco. So still there's hope, there's some opening. With a reference like Jack, you push it and then we go to Monaco.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be fun. But if not, Po would be another fun track. No overtaking, but amazing to drive.
Yeah. Then there's a question from Christoph. He's asking, Jack, what's the most difficult? A super speedway race in a NASCAR or super speedway race in an IndyCar?
In the IndyCar, because the level of danger is so much higher. You have a car that will not absorb the wall. You're going at crazy speeds, and you cannot lean on each other like you can in a NASCAR. It's a lot more tense. The speedway in NASCAR was difficult is you're 3 wide, bumper to bumper, and you don't see anything. You're just part of a river, and you're following the flow, and your spotter is telling you everything. In the IndyCar, it's more yourself driving the mirrors and positioning yourself, and you know that if you bite the wall, it will be very painful.
And I see another question popping up, which is pretty similar to this. Do you think Lausitzring would be a good track for our championship? It's a fast speedway.
I raced an IndyCar there.
Yeah?
Yeah, in 2003. Yeah.
What was it, the year that there was the accident with Zanardi?
No, that was the year when we finished the laps with I think it was 2 years after his accident.
Yeah.
And he finished he did 10 or 12 laps before our race to finish the things. Yeah. And it was fun there. It was really fun there. I think it could be a good race for but it's fast, huh?
Yeah, it's really fast. You know,
Yeah.
I think it would. We have to try it. At least test the cars over there and see how they do. But sorry,
Track still exists as an oval. The full track still exists.
Yeah, I think so.
We would need to change gear ratios. So if not, we'd be on the whole lap.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Then for both of you, Andre is asking best racing memory. I think Jacques already said a bit with the two races that he said. Patrick, what's your best racing memory?
Yeah, my best rating. I said it was Le Petit Le Mans in 2001, but it was I really enjoy racing with that Audi car R8. I was doing a lot of testing in F1 at that year. It was I think in 2001 I did around 10,000 kilometers during the year in F1. But I had so much fun in this car. It was light for LMP1. It was very fast, very interesting, and I really enjoyed my races with Stefan Johansson at that time, and we won the championship. And it was a really, really, really fun race. Really fun.
Yeah. I'd like to add, racing memory doesn't mean that it's something we raced in. So I would take the 79 Dijon race with my dad and Arnoux when they were banging wheels in Formula One car. That remains an amazing memory.
You see it popping up on social media all the time. I think I saw it 10 times in my life already. It's such a fun track, and then the race is amazing. How long it took, and that they both didn't go off. That they just
didn't break the car either, which is amazing. And they got punished after for being too crazy. It's amazing.
No. But they were still the real race drivers. Then it was less politics, because that's the next question I get. How did you handle the politics in F1?
You don't have to handle them. You just mind your own business. They're present. They're forever present. If you start playing the political game, then at some point you forget where you are, what you say, which game you're playing. So I don't know. I've always spoken my mind. It got some people upset, but then some other people liked it. The problem is when you speak your mind, there's often a big price to pay, but you have to be conscious of it. And in the long run, you're better off this way, because you don't backpedal, you don't start lying over yourself either.
Next one, that's from Johnny. And what's the best race car you ever drove?
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean the quickest. The best one, obviously, was the Williams 97, because it did everything I wanted it to do. The car was designed around me. So I would just sit in it, and it became part of my body. It was just an extension in between me and the road. And that makes driving fun. Obviously, the cars I drove after that were a lot faster. The last year we had the V8 in F1, the G-forces were pulling in Malaysia in the high-speed corners. At the end of the corners, my eyes would go black. I wouldn't see the road anymore because there was just too much G-force. So that made it fun as well. But the car was not nice to drive. So what you want is a car that does everything you want, basically. Then you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, well, there's nothing better than a Formula One with low fuel and new tires. The 2 laps that you have there, it's just unbelievable, and you cannot compare that to anything. But for really racing, I think the Audi R8 was something unbelievable. Yeah,
they won also many races. They were so strong, and in that era, nobody was catching.
It was fun racing because it was fast, it was light, super braking, gearbox was good. It was a super car for sure.
Okay. The questions keep popping up. We're gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna do the next stage. The aero screens in IndyCar. What do you think about that, guys?
I don't know. It looks better than the Halo. obviously. But is it still an open wheel car, really, when you don't see the helmet anymore? You could almost go to a Le Mans car now. It's almost that. So I'm not sure. Yes, it's safer, but is it what we want? I don't know. It's hard. I only saw a few laps of it racing. On the speedway, they still look good. No. Difficult because now you're not allowed to say anything that's against safety. So you have to be careful with that.
We were all, in the beginning, we were all complaining about the Hans system. Everybody was, I don't want to drive with that. And now everybody's driving it.
Yeah, I can't imagine driving without the hands. So actually, the hands, I find it holds the belts better. So I'm quite happy with it. But yeah, I was extremely against it before it came. It's true.
Yeah, I remember I was trying the first hands model in Formula One, because just before it came up, and it was it was horrible. I couldn't drive with the hands. It was like terrible. But now that now it's better. The seats are better and everything is good. But I remember the first few days I had with the hands, it was terrible. But safety.
Exactly. And the last one we're going to handle is about Le Mans. Le Mans is going to change a lot with the supercars or the hypercars coming up. Is that something for you as drivers, or is it something for you as a team with your Feed Racing team, where you want to be in the future?
The hypercars, that's for constructors, basically. The budgets will be enormous, but that's always been the case for the teams that win in Le Mans. So there's nothing wrong with that. We don't know what the rules exactly will be, I guess, but hypercar means going the same way as GT, with the balance of power. I mean, if a car is too quick, you take some horsepower away, or you take some downforce away. So there will always be a political game of teams pushing to get more power, and then the winner will not necessarily be the best car, but the ones who will be able to politically get the most advantage. And that's something that I find a little bit disturbing in sports.
And as a driver, would you go as a driver if you get the opportunity?
Well, I still need to win Le Mans, so somehow I still have plenty of years ahead of me. Because the last year I did it, finishing second, the same thing. It was a race we should have won, and we managed to lose it, and that's very frustrating, because that's the only thing that I'm missing right now. After having won the Indy 500, the F1 Championship, then Le Mans is the next thing for the Triple Crown.
And Patrick, you want to go back to Le Mans, I guess, right?
That's why I'm driving this year. I want to make sure that I'm fit for Le Mans. No, I don't know if we have a project, then he can, I want Jacques win Le Mans. He deserves to win everything on the planet, so he's almost there. So if the opportunity is there for us as a team, whatever, we can organize this for Jacques to win Le Mans. Yes, we will go for sure. As a driver, I don't know. It depends of if I'm fast enough, or if I want to do it, or if it's a good team setup and driver setup. But for Jacques, he needs to win it. So let's see.
Yeah, you see, Jacques, there's no pressure. You need to win it. That's
Well, when you do your best, when there's no pressure.
He's good under pressure. That's why.
Okay, I go to my short questions, because we already went over time. Short question: Hamilton or Verstappen, Jacques?
For what?
Just you have to say a name. What you prefer?
For dinner, to go skiing, for what?
As a driver, as a race driver.
Hamilton.
Well, you have to take Hamilton, because he's been winning everything over the years. Verstappen has been very impressive. He's been improving. He's been maturing a lot. So he could be ending up winning a lot of races in championship, but he's not there yet.
But I see more Verstappen leaning towards you, being like a bit of the outsider in Formula One. Then Hamilton is nicely brushed and everything is perfect.
Well, you know what? They both are in the perfect team for them. Mercedes with Lewis is perfect. It's all clean. It's all about that kind of image. Where if you take Max with Red Bull gave him the opportunity to be crazy. to crash a lot in the first year and to stay there to learn. So they are both in their perfect teams. Take them out of these teams and environments, they might perform less.
Next one, Formula One or NASCAR?
NASCAR, for now. Yeah, at this point. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the modern F1 with the hybrid engines and all the technology and the politically correct. So I would, lean toward NASCAR.
Goes NASCAR. Then I hope your wives are not around. Romantic weekend or race weekend?
Race weekend.
Romantic.
You see, Jacques will get a problem with his wife, and you will be the nice guy tonight. So you get nice meal tonight. Perfect.
Exactly. I want to,
No, because we don't get. That's the thing.
I just wanted to get you in problems. It was Alan Day who said you have to ask.
He's listening, so I'm careful.
Best teammate ever?
Jacques.
Yeah, we only did one race together.
That's why.
Yeah, but you say Patrick, Jack?
Yeah.
Well, it was easy.
That's what I'm racing.
The F1 years, because
his teammate.
Big year. Did I have a good teammate? Yeah, Olivier Panis was nice, was good. We could work well together. But apart from that, there was always high competition, which is good.
Yeah.
It pushes you forward. You need high competition. Now with Patrick, it's fun because I've hardly ever had drivers who could drive my setup, or we could share setups, even in F1 or through the years. And Patrick is one of them. So that allows us to work better on the NASCAR.
Okay. And then the last one, worst teammate ever?
All of them.
Ever. Ugh. I have to come up with a name. I don't know. No, there isn't someone I didn't really get along.
Tom Coronel.
Well, actually, there's one guy, but he wasn't a teammate. He was our test driver, and we had a fist fight during a driver's briefer years later, which was Montoya. But once in NASCAR, he became very nice.
Yeah, he's not an easy guy, I think. Yeah. No, cool, man. Or guys, just to sum up, 220 season has started off. I think, Jack, your goal is to win the championship. But for both of you, who do you think are among the favorites together with you guys to win the championship?
Well, you have Heiseman. Obviously, he won it last year, and we saw in the last race for qualifying, he was super quick. Then he was chewing up his tires, so he was just going slower and slower. And obviously, Alan Day, because he's always been running at the front. So he is a force to be reckoned with. The only issue is I'm not sure I can do all the races this because with the F1 schedule, and it's becoming a little bit complicated. And we might have snow in Most, so that could be interesting.
Did you ever race in the snow?
Yeah, I did some ice racing in France. That was a lot of fun. But the NASCAR in the snow, I'm not so sure.
I won in Most with the Audi, so I have an advantage.
Oh yeah, you see, he's fast there, so you have to come there. I did a Formula Renault. My first Formula Renault test was in Nürburgring in the snow. So hey, if we can do it with a Formula Renault, you can do it with a NASCAR.
Oh yeah, no worries.
No, hey, best of luck, guys. Thanks for being here. Congratulations with the team. You guys look amazing, and then you bring a lot for NASCAR. So best of luck, and see you in Zolder.
Thank you.
See you there.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.